Banking how easily each male UFC world champion become a double champion, a two-division champion. They move up to the weight class above and become a two-division champion, whatever you want to call it. We will rank them today. Oh, and this video won't include Tom Aspinall because he's not got a weight class above him. If you can't figure that out, and I need to tell you that, this video is not for you. You lack brain cells. So without further ado, let's talk about the categories. Easily means I think they'd easily get it done. It's extremely favourable for them. No difficulty whatsoever. They easily become a two-division champion. They win. Difficult. They don't necessarily get it done easily, but I think I'd still favour them to win. Possibly, they could get it done, but I'd still favour the champion above to beat them in quite a close fight. No means no, that's just not happening. And the final category is, dear God, Volk, don't do it. I wonder what that could possibly mean. Without further ado, we have Alexandre Volkanovski. So, for Alexandre Volkanovski, I had to make a special category because the thought of him fighting Ilia Topuria, especially an Ilia Topuria at lightweight that probably hits even harder, that has gotten even better, whereas Volkanovski isn't in his prime. I like him as featherweight champion. Dear God, Volk, don't do it. Please don't take that fight ever. Even if you get 5 successful title defences at featherweight, stay there. Don't go up. If Ilia Topuria's there, stay right there. Stay there. We should block this move at any opportunity. Just gaslight the guy into not taking this fight. Maybe spike his drink or maybe make him miss weight on purpose, right? Maybe hack into his Cooking with Volk account so he's got something to distract him from taking this fight. God, I couldn't imagine it. Right? Ilia Topuria just has a terrible style for Alexandre Volkanovski. Even if you want me to analyse this properly, Ilia's a better boxer. He has too much power for Volk. Volk's never had an elite level granite chin. He's always been fairly easily wobbled all throughout his career. Even more so now. At lightweight, no doubt about it, he is more filled out. And I think even in his prime, he should have moved up to lightweight maybe a bit sooner in his career while he still had time left at the top. But he lost to Islam Makhachev twice. I don't think this is a move that will ever happen again. But if it ever comes up, if it ever gets offered, dear God, Volk, don't take this fight. Is there any way we see Alexandre Volkanovski winning this fight against Ilia Topuria? He has got elite level cardio. He has got elite level fight IQ, even still. He's extremely fast. He does have good combinations, not as good as Ilia's because, Volk just doesn't sit down on his shots as well. Volk doesn't have the same kind of power to gain the respect of Ilia. He's easily backed up. The same thing could happen again, and I just couldn't watch it twice. So, dear God, Volk, don't do it, is the category Volk's going to go into. Alexandre Pantoja, that's interesting. Possibly. I think with Alexandre Pantoja, people write him off massively going in there against Merab Dvalishvili. I think Pantoja and Merab would be a pretty competitive fight while Pantoja's fresh. I think he'd make this pretty close. And it's Merab. Merab makes most of his fights in the early rounds pretty close. He just gets by with his output. We won't really see too much damage from Merab. Pantoja's got a granite chin. I think Merab would struggle to gain the respect from Pantoja in terms of his power. Pantoja will match Merab's output, at least early on. He's got elite level jiu-jitsu and elite level grappling. He doesn't have better freestyle wrestling or just better wrestling or chain wrestling or anything like that than Merab. But while Pantoja's fresh, I wouldn't say no way does Pantoja get that done. Pantoja definitely is defensively good enough with his guard, is fast enough, is powerful enough, is short and stocky enough, and has good enough fight IQ to certainly give Merab a really, really hard time, in my opinion. I don't know why. If you actually look at these two styles, right, and the reason why I'd never put Pantoja in they win is because Merab would ultimately drown Pantoja out rounds 3, 4, and 5. I have no doubt he'd overwhelm Pantoja. But I think Pantoja could definitely make this a 3 rounds to 2 fight where he drops Merab maybe in the first round, gives him a hellish first and second round, has a competitive third. It's quite a close decision win for Merab. I don't see Merab finishing Pantoja on the ground unless he is just a completely new fighter with high-level submissions now. Unless he is turned into that, I don't see Merab finishing Pantoja. I think it'd be pretty close, but Pantoja certainly would fade in my opinion. But maybe he wouldn't, right? Because he'd be moving up to bantamweight. Maybe he's more filled out in that division and less drained. That's hypothetical, though. I think going off Pantoja's career, even if he is controlling the pace of the fight, he always does fade a little bit. Even if he's taking you down and taking you back and controlling you, he does slow down a little bit. And Merab would massively drown Pantoja out in those late championship rounds and steal it, in my opinion. But for sure, a pretty close fight, in my opinion. Merab Dvalishvili. Merab would not beat Alexander Volkanovski. Even he said himself, and I don't even think he's just being humble when he says this. I genuinely don't think Merab believes he'd beat Alexander Volkanovski. And he's right. Alexander Volkanovski would... I'm tempted to put Merab into Dear God, Volk don't do it, but that category was especially made for Merab. And I wouldn't care if Merab lost to Volk. Like, I like Merab. I don't love him like I love Volk, right? He's not my boy, right? Volk don't know me, but he's my boy, apparently, right? Just bear with me. I'm delusional. It is what it is. Merab Dvalishvili wouldn't beat Volk, though. He's not going to be able to overwhelm Volk with his cardio. If he could overwhelm... If anybody in the world could overwhelm Alexander Volkanovski with the cardio, I genuinely believe you're on EPO. If Merab could do that, and I'm already sceptical... If he could do that to Volk, then he's on EPO. I would put that straight out there. There's no possible way. Alexander Volkanovski's got elite level fight IQ. He wouldn't crumble under the volume and the pressure of Merab. Volk's long reach and jab would be hellish for Merab. He's got excellent combinations again. Because he doesn't fear the takedown of Merab, I don't even think it's possible Merab gets going in this fight. And Volk can throw a ton of output. He can go 5 rounds, no problem. He can feint and keep you guessing. Merab isn't intelligent enough. And especially, it's not like Merab has crushing power on the feet. Where, maybe he could wobble Volk, but he doesn't have one-punch knockout power. If it was Sean O'Malley, you could say, could hurt Volk. Corey Sanhagen, you could say, could catch Volk with something. Merab, or maybe even Umar, could maybe wobble Volk. But Merab ain't wobbling Volk. He's just not that powerful. He does come in with output. He can overwhelm guys. Volk sometimes can take a round to settle in. But Volk can go 5 rounds absolutely fine. He's gone 50-50 in scrambles with Islam Makhachev. Like, Alexander Volkanovski is extremely strong in the clinch too. Merab's not going to be able to just pin Volk up against the fence. The best way I could see Merab winning is he just kind of Bautista Aldo's Volk, trying to pin him against the fence, dirty boxing, and just makes it an ugly fight. But Volk's extremely strong up against the fence, able to reverse Islam Makhachev there several times. Again, Islam Makhachev, I hate to use fight IQ, but Islam Makhachev is very likely going to go on. It's not a definite, but he could very well go on and beat Della Maddalena for the welterweight championship of the world. That says how strong Volk is, how good his positioning is. Merab ain't out-grappling Volk for that reason. And Volk's short and stocky. It's going to be hard for Merab to get under him. Again, there's no advantage Merab has over Volk when you really think about it, especially from a fight IQ point of view. Merab's aggressiveness, his output, it'd be used against him. Ilia Topuria. Possibly. I'm not going to get carried away. As much as I want to go, we march on and we beat Della Maddalena. Realistically, it's possible for Ilia Topuria. The reason why I'm saying no, and I know a lot of people will say no, is because this is speculation. I don't think Ilia Topuria would be optimally competitive at welterweight. You've got to look at it like this. Sometimes people put on size to an extent where it doesn't benefit them. Ilia Topuria's body type, his height, his reach, his size suits featherweight and it suits lightweight. Lightweight, for him, he still looked a little bit smaller than Charles Oliveira by a good margin. Imagine him against Michael Morales, right? And I know I'm not talking about Ilia Topuria versus the top 15 of welterweight, but just these guys are huge. Della Maddalena, excellent takedown defence. Ilia Topuria is an exceptional grappler. He's probably better than Della Maddalena there. That's a possibility for him. He has power. I don't think it would be the same at welterweight. That's another thing. Ilia Topuria's fear factor wouldn't be the same at welterweight. Della Maddalena, I have no doubt about it, would happily trade with Ilia Topuria. When it comes to trading in boxing, even if Ilia Topuria is fast at welterweight, he's powerful at welterweight, maybe he could wobble Della Maddalena, I highly believe that he would not be able to just flatline JDM in one punch. If he could, that is insane levels of power insane levels of power. I don't believe he could. I don't think that's speculation. I'm kind of speculating, but I really don't believe I am at the same time. I find it unlikely Ilia Topuria could stone Jack Della Maddalena the same way he did Oliveira and Volk and Max Holloway. I just don't see that happening. But he has got better pocket boxing than Jack Della Maddalena. Where Jack Della Maddalena excels more than Ilia is that ability to switch combinations and switch stances on the retreat. He's got better shifting backhands too, so he can angle off and pivot while he's moving out and exiting out into either stance or throw a backhand into a combination. Much better than Ilia Topuria can. Ilia Topuria is much better when he gets you in front of him, stood still trying to exchange with him. That's when he can get you with his left hook, his right uppercut, his right overhand. That's when he can catch you with those short shots. But again, JDM's really good at rolling with shots, the same as Ilia Topuria. He can do it from either stance to give Ilia Topuria a different look. He's got really good front kicks. He actually has got really good pull counters too. He'd have power that Ilia Topuria would massively have to respect. So if Ilia Topuria is trading with JDM, keeping his head on centre line, remember, Ilia's great when he throws a combination and you look to counter him, and then there's the shoulder roll, then there's the roll, then there's the slip. Ilia Topuria is really good at defending after he's attacked, but when he's attacking, he leaves himself open. Like when he got caught by that short elbow off Oliveira and ate it like it was nothing. But with JDM, I don't think he'll be able to take that kind of damage. I think it's possible Ilia Topuria moves up and becomes double champion. Possible, right? But it's unlikely. I wouldn't say definitely no. It's just hard to doubt Ilia Topuria. I know it seems wild to say that he could be the first ever triple champion in the UFC. I don't think he would be, but if there's anybody that could ever do it, it might be him. And to be fair, JDM is a boxer, so maybe it'd benefit Ilia Topuria. I don't think so though. I think JDM would be too physical. He's used to fighting at welterweight, carrying that weight on his body. He's fast at welterweight. I don't think Ilia would be. Ilia wouldn't be able to take the same kind of punishment at welterweight. He leaves himself too open. And JDM, I think, can afford to take some shots off Ilia in the pocket. There's no way JDM's going down like lightweights and featherweights. If he does, again, that is insane power. But I don't think he would. So that might be a hot take. I spent some time on that one. But I don't think Ilia Topuria becomes champion. But possibly. Jack Della Maddalena. Right, Jack Della Maddalena versus Hamzat. Very simply, he wins. I'm just kidding. Again, no. Right? No. I'm going to put him below Merab. No, I'm going to put him slightly above Merab. Only because he can weather the storm. Only because he could, cut Hamzat up if he starts landing on the feet. Only because he has power that Hamzat would have to respect. He has got good shifting combinations. He would have Craig Jones in his corner, He would try and work from his guard. He would try manoeuvre from his guard, keep his back away from the cage. JDM would turn up, I believe, with a good game plan to beat Hamzat. But there's turning up with a good game plan to beat Hamzat, and then there's beating Hamzat, which is a completely different kettle of fish. I don't think Jack Della Maddalena would beat Hamzat Chimaev. I don't think he beats Hamzat Chimaev. I really don't. Could he do it? I don't think it's possibly. I just don't see it happening. Do any of you see it happening? Maybe if he could weather it out, Hamzat Chimaev gasses, maybe something like that. I don't think so, man. I think Hamzat Chimaev would control the pace of the fight. I think he'd take Jack Della Maddalena down pretty easily. I don't think JDM's ever fought someone as strong as Hamzat Chimaev. He does give his back as well if he's getting up against the fence. He does build to his base. So that'd be something Hamzat Chimaev would exploit. Hamzat Chimaev does have good ground and pound if he needs it. His positioning and top control's too much. And I just think he's too big for Jack Della Maddalena. The jump from 170 to middleweight would be really, really difficult, man. Really, really difficult. I don't think Jack Della Maddalena would have a good time with Hamzat Chimaev whatsoever. Hamzat Chimaev jumping up to fight Magomed Ankalaev. I don't think Hamzat Chimaev would find it easy, man. I think he'd struggle. Top end of possibly. Now, would he beat Magomed? He definitely doesn't do it easily. I have no idea why people believe that. I have no idea. Does he win? They win. No. Possibly again. Hamzat Chimaev would not beat Magomed Ankalaev, I don't think. And I know that might sound insane, because I've seen some people say, well, Alex Pereira got like a sweep on Magomed Ankalaev for 1 second at the end of a round. So therefore, Alex Pereira, if he's doing that to Magomed Ankalaev, Ankalaev gets mauled by Hamzat. Now, the misconception about Ankalaev is crazy. It's a dead giveaway you don't know ball if I hear you say Ankalaev's a striker, or if I hear you say Ankalaev's a wrestler. He's neither of them. He's a mixed martial artist. Very well-rounded, elite level counter-punching. If you're aggressive on Ankalaev, which Hamzat Chimaev is, if you're aggressive with your entries on the feet, if you're coming in with 1-2s, keeping your chin in the air, if you're throwing telegraph front kicks, Ankalaev's got deadly counters. And Ankalaev's speed is extremely underrated. He's also got really good side kicks to the knee as well, if you're stepping in with a jab. Ankalaev's got really good parries. Southpaw against orthodox, the left overhand would be there for Ankalaev if he could gain the respect from Hamzat. Do I think Hamzat could take Ankalaev down? Yes. But Ankalaev has got that sambo base and background behind him. While it's not on the level of Hamzat, he is still much bigger than Hamzat. The jump from 185, from a guy that used to be a 170-pounder, a big 170-pounder, to a guy that is still able to ragdoll Dricus du Plessis, but, you know, didn't look that big compared to Dricus du Plessis. He's still got elite level top control. He's still got elite level positioning. He could still out-grapple Ankalaev, which is why I'm putting him top end of possibly. I think it is possible for Hamzat Chimaev to beat Magomed Ankalaev. It's top end of possibly. He could very well out-grapple Magomed. He could very well ragdoll him for all I know. But I rate Ankalaev's chances. He's got good fight IQ. He's got a good ability to mix it up. He will be the stronger man in there against Hamzat, the bigger man. Again, the jump from 185 pounds to the 205 pound division for me is probably one of the most difficult in mixed martial arts. The weight jump is insane. The guys there are very big. And I think Ankalaev could very easily go up to heavyweight, right? He's a big guy, Magomed Ankalaev. Hits hard, power, could easily flatline Hamzat Chimaev. It's possible Hamzat does it, but I don't quite see it happening. I think Ankalaev would send Hamzat Chimaev going straight back down to the middleweight division. Ankalaev is so underrated, which brings me to my next take. You are not going to believe this. I am the biggest Tom Aspinall glazer in history, but possibly. No, he doesn't win. I definitely wouldn't say he easily wins, but he is Tom Aspinall's future biggest threat. I think Ankalaev will beat Pereira, and then I think he will fight Tom Aspinall sometime next year. And I know what you're saying, I know what you're thinking, but really with so few title defences, they will probably need a super fight by the time this happens. And when it does happen, I honestly think Ankalaev will give Tom Aspinall a tough time. Right, here's why. Aspinall comes in, like I mentioned before, 1-2s, chin in the air, very fast. That'd give Ankalaev a ton of trouble. Has power that could absolutely flatline Magomed Ankalaev. Has great grappling, ridiculously athletic and fast. But Ankalaev's a great counter-puncher. Like I mentioned before, he's good at setting traps. He's also extremely well-rounded himself. He's very fast himself. The side kicks to the knee could be a problem for Tom Aspinall. He's good in either stance, to be fair, Ankalaev, if he needs to give you a different look, but he'll probably be fighting in southpaw throughout the fight. If Tom Aspinall truly is just a 1-2 merchant on the feet, right, quick 1-2s, and he's got a good grappling base behind him, Ankalaev might have a field day with him. So this is really on the theory that we haven't seen enough from Tom yet. We haven't seen too much from Tom yet to suggest he has a wide arsenal of techniques. I certainly don't think Ankalaev gets destroyed by Aspinall. Like, a lot of people who are English cook me, but I 1 minute get called a Tom Aspinall glazer, and the next minute I'm get told, well, why are you not backing your countryman? I would say Tom Aspinall beats Ankalaev. Possibly still means you'd favour the champion above. I would say Ankalaev loses to Aspinall, but I certainly don't think Aspinall would have an easy time with Ankalaev. He could very easily get caught coming in by Ankalaev's left hand, Aspinall. He does leave himself open. He can be caught in the pocket. He is well-rounded, but so is Magomed Ankalaev. He does have good fight IQ. So does Magomed Ankalaev. And to be fair, he's proven he can go 5 rounds. And Tom Aspinall hasn't. So I think there is a threat there from Magomed Ankalaev, a bigger threat than what people realise. So I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't know if anybody else can get on board with me from that. Now, this list might be a bit boring for some of you because I get it. I've not put anyone in the win. I've not put anyone in easily. But it's tough to say. It's tough to say. I think a lot of the quality of the champions in this day and age, in this era, is really, really good. It's really, really good. And a lot of the champions above the champions in their current divisions, man, they're hard matchups for them. That just has to be said. So as much as I want to put a fighter in, they win. Or as much as I want to put a fighter in easily to shake it up, I've got to be honest with my takes. I don't think any of them go up and win a title. But I think there's certainly some of them that could possibly do it. Thank you all very much for watching. Take care, everybody. Adios. Goodbye.